Hey guys, welcome to the Massive Iron Channel. I'm Steve Shaw. In this video, I'm going to tell you a story of a big fat snowflake with a very special sad story. Before I get into that topic, if you have any questions or comments, drop them down below. The best topic ideas I turn into videos just like this. All right, this video is going to be a little bit different. I might ramble on for a while. I might go down a few rabbit holes. I don't know what's going to happen, but it's just something I want to get off my chest. I've been talking more and more about obesity and obesity awareness online, namely Instagram. I do that more on Instagram than on YouTube because people tend to come to my YouTube channel, for some of my transformation stuff, but a lot more for my lifting stuff. But if you go onto my Instagram, @BenTheBarman, you see a lot of, obesity stuff. And I get a lot of comments from folks who don't like to hear the truth, that obesity kills and obesity is deadly, and that obesity leads to increased cancer rates, decrease in your ability to survive cancer, increase in suicide and depression and anxiety, increase in osteoarthritis and all kinds of diseases. Obesity is what obesity is. So when I talk about obesity awareness in this culture, there's a lot of folks that don't want to hear it. Or a lot of folks that when somebody says something about do not judge this person based on their appearance, and you don't assume this person is unhealthy based on their appearance, and you respond with something that says, obesity is inherently dangerous. It's inherently sick. It's like smoking or abusing alcohol or abusing drugs. It comes with it an inherent danger. And we need to be aware of that. When you present this information to a certain percentage of individuals, they will respond back, but you don't know their story. You don't know their struggles. They had such hard struggles. They had such a hard path. They have struggles, and you just have to respect that. And you know what? That's why I wanted to make this video, because I am a very special fat snowflake with a very sad story. And I'm going to share that in this video. Because one thing I learned, and I'm going to get into my past, and I don't often do this on this channel, but one thing I learned is when I stopped viewing my story as unique, then I was able to start being successful. For a long time in my life, I viewed myself as a victim. I viewed myself as somebody who had so many struggles and the rest of the world didn't understand. And I just wanted them to understand. I thought I was unique. I thought I was the only one of the few people that went through the struggles that I did. And I just, I pitied myself. And I thought I was a very special snowflake. And that is the truth. Looking at me now, you might not think so. Some of you might think so. Some of you, in the comments just think I'm a big fat idiot who, is a wannabe who lost weight and all that kind of stuff. I don't really care, but here's my story. Here's a story of a very fat snowflake with a very special, sad story. My dad served in Vietnam for 2 tours. And when he came back, he was pretty messed up. He was to say the least. I went through a lot of, I wouldn't say physical abuse, but it was a lot of mental abuse. My dad would destroy the house. He was very violent. He was always getting into fights. He was always destroying things in the house. He was just raging out of control. He was extremely violent. It was an extremely violent environment, and he really wasn't always aware of what he was doing. There was a time when I was 8 when he had moved out of the house, and he had moved only a block away to be with his girlfriend. And he called our house, which was again a block away, and he said that he was going to come over and kill us all. So you could hear the shotgun blast going off into the night sky as he approached closer. And I was an 8-year-old kid, and all the rest of my sisters and my family ran upstairs and they hid. And we honestly thought we were all going to die. He pulled me downstairs. He sat on the couch. He gave me the shotgun, and he screamed for like 5 minutes for me to kill him. I'm an 8-year-old holding a shotgun with my dad trying to get me to kill him. That moment was extremely traumatizing. Needless to say, the police showed up and everything ended up okay. But that moment was extremely traumatizing for me as an 8-year-old. And to say it had a huge impact on my life is an understatement. Now, from that age on forward, you know, I was basically a parentless kid. My mom was off working to try to support our family. She worked very hard, but my dad was never around, never part of my life. My mom was always working, and I was a kid that really didn't know how life worked. Nobody taught me how to study. Nobody taught me good eating habits. No one was there to say, "Oh, Stevie, you're doing a good job," or "Way to go, back pat, you're doing good. That's wonderful, we love you." There wasn't any of that stuff. I was basically just an animal that had to fend for itself in a world that I didn't understand. And, you know, that's like being equipped for failure. If you have no parents in your life to show you how life works, to even show you how to change the oil, change a light bulb, or just, you know, how to study, you're basically equipped for failure. So it also leads to a lot of confusion. During my early teens, I was very depressive. I was very suicidal. You know, I always wanted to find a way to end my life, but I could never find a way to do it. I was just a naive kid. I wouldn't know how to do it if I could, but I would carve notches into my arms and just wish for the pain to stop. We were extremely poor as well, because back then, you know, they didn't really go after the father for lack of child support. And halfway through the month, our food supply was so limited. We'd be taking government cheese, and there really wasn't a lot to eat. We just have the same food choices day in and day out, barely enough to survive. The house was in such bad, you know, state of disrepair that whenever it rained, the roof was just trash, and rain would just pour into the house. We lived in just despicable conditions. We lived in just, you know, a horrendous environment with limited food. To say we were in poverty was an understatement. Just, you know, I only had like one pair of jeans and like 3 t-shirts, and the kids at school would make fun of me. And, it was what it was. You know, I thought I was like the worst of the worst. I thought I was so unique and had such a very special story that nobody else would understand. I was like the complete victim. And, you know, there's other things that happened in my life after that as I went on to become an adult. I went off in the military and met somebody that I really loved at the time. And this person ended up, you know, being like a serial cheater while I was in the service. And that just kind of, you know, that nearly broke me. That nearly broke me. And, you know, the point is, like, up until, you know, as I approach, even into my mid-30s, I was a victim. I considered myself a victim. I had this amazing, incredible story that no one could ever understand. And I was so unique and had went through so much. It was so traumatizing. I was like a special snowflake. You know, I was very depressed for a long time. I thought I was the only one in the world that went through struggles. You know, I thought my story was just incredible, the amount of the pain and struggles I went through. And you know what? As I matured, as I grew up, I started to realize that everybody has a story. Everybody has a story. The moment you realize that everybody has a story, no matter what their background is, no matter where they come from, no matter who their parents are, no matter where they live in the world, everybody has pain, everybody has suffering, everybody has struggles. Once you realize this, once you respect this, once you begin to view everyone through this lens, you start to view life completely different. You start to view people completely, you know, just on a whole different level. You know, when people piss you off, you start to wonder, you know, what are their struggles? What is driving them to be angry? What is driving them to be depressed? But, you know, once you realize that everyone has struggles and you are not unique, and this is a point I want to make. Once you realize you are not a special snowflake, you are not unique. Yes, you went through pain. Yes, you went through suffering. It could be horrendous. For many people, the pain is very horrendous, very horrendous. The struggles that some people go through is just incredible. There is no doubt. But the moment all of us wake up and realize we are not a special snowflake, we are not alone, we are not the only one with struggles, it is only then that we can set that crap behind us and move on. Now, I will say, and this is another important point, when you stay tethered to what happened to you in the past, when you stay focused on all the bad things that happened in the past, when you consider yourself, when you're just like in this little world where you're like a special snowflake that's been abused and mistreated and put through all these trials, you are staying tethered to the past. You are staying chained to all the abuse you went through, all the hard times you went through. You are literally chaining yourself to this pain. You are chaining yourself to the past. You are chaining yourself to people that hurt you. You are chaining yourself to events that hurt you. You are chaining yourself down. Think about that for a moment. It is only when you forget the past, it is only when you forget about the abusive alcoholic father that wanted you to kill him. It is only when you forget about your poverty and your lack of food and your lack of parenting, you forget about all that stuff and you just say, I'm going to set that shit aside now. I'm going to set my past aside because I stayed so focused on it for so long that I couldn't move forward. I chained myself to the past. When you chain yourself to somebody that was a serial cheater, like somebody I was with, that you can't stop being angry about them, they are controlling you. I let my abusive father control me. I let my parents who didn't provide me parenting control me. I provided that relationship. I allowed that relationship to control me. When you stay focused on that stuff, when you can't let it go, you are letting these people control you. You are letting the abusers continue to abuse you. You are letting the people you despise and the events you despise and the struggles in your life, the things that you despise, the things that you hate, the things that brought you terror and pain, you're allowing them to continue to limit you and continue to bring you pain. Think about that. It is only when you're able to move on and say, I'm not going to think about that anymore. I'm not going to worry about the past. That was then. Now I'm going to set myself free and I'm going to move forward and I'm going to be who I want to be today. And I don't care what anybody else thinks. I don't care how I failed in the past. Only when you can do that can you be free. Only when you can stop thinking about how I was a special snowflake. Only when you can stop thinking about all the things that restricted you or held you back can you actually move on in life. Now, I got to be 346 pounds. I was a binge eater. I struggled with depression for a very long time. I had a very rough marriage. I had a marriage with somebody that was asexual, and I didn't understand it. I had a 17-year marriage with somebody that was asexual. Asexualism isn't something we talk about, but I'm going to talk about it in this video. My partner was asexual. That means they were born without a drive to be affectionate or intimate. Now, she was still a good person, but I didn't understand it. She didn't understand it, and maybe doesn't understand it to this day. But in that relationship, I still maintained a healthy level of depression. People say, if you were fit, how did you allow yourself to become fat? Well, long story short, I did because I didn't understand the nature of my relationship. And I ate myself up to 346 pounds. And I got there and I was extremely unhealthy and nearly died. Now, I lost 100 pounds when I got out of that relationship, when I stopped being a victim, when I really stopped being a victim at 45 or 46 and took control over my life and took control over my future and allowed doors to open instead of focusing on the past doors that were closed behind me. Then I started being successful. Now, here I am at age 51, and when I post on fat shaming, or when I post about obesity to related topics, and I make people aware of the dangers of obesity, and the health dangers, and the cancer dangers, and the depression dangers, and all that kind of stuff, the people that are still the special snowflakes, still the victims, the people that don't want to look in the mirror and just admit what they're doing to themselves. They look at me, and I've had comments like this recently on my Instagram, saying that I'm just a bench press and protein obsessed, bro who has no idea what they're going through. And that is the exact mindset that I'm talking about here. These people who do not want to be judged about their weight, about their obesity, have no problem judging me and assuming who I am, what I went through, what my struggles were, what my journey was. And that's the ultimate insult. That's the ultimate insult we can give to any other human being. We can put them in a little box, we can stereotype them, and just assume we know everything about them. They never had struggles like us. They were always like they were. And you know what? Nothing could be further from the truth. I stand before you today as somebody that's very proud of my degree of success. You look at my pictures and videos and stuff 4, 5, 6 years ago. I was a hideously ugly, fat, near-death 46-year-old man. I was hiding from the world. I wore 3X and 4X clothing. Obesity nearly killed me. Fatty liver disease nearly killed me. I had no degree of success. I screwed up and never finished college. I worked in blue-collar jobs. I worked in blue-collar jobs. I lost my health. I had nothing. I had nothing. I had no decent living. I had no decent health. And I stand before you completely changed, completely successful. I have a wonderful career. I have a wonderful wife. I've turned my body around. I've turned my attitude around. I've turned my life around. And it only was able to occur because I stopped viewing myself as a special snowflake that was the only one in the world that went through struggles. So I wanted to make a video about this today just to kind of encourage and motivate you guys to wherever you're at, whatever you're chained to in the past, or whatever is abusing you, or whatever has abused you, or whatever has hurt you, it's time to let that stuff go. It's time to stop viewing yourself as unique or special. You know what? Yes, you have a unique story, but you are not special. You are not the only one. Everyone out there has a unique story. Everyone out there has a special story. And you know what? The more you focus on yourself, the less you focus on them. All those people out there need your help. All those people out there need your motivation. I get to motivate people every day because of what I do. Some people, some of you just view me as an asshole. Some of you view me as a dickhead or a fake or phony or whatever. But for a living right now, I get to wake up and help people lose weight. I get to help people build muscle. I get to help people change lives. And that is important to me. And I was only able to do that. And I'm only able to do that because I stopped thinking about myself and what a special snowflake I am, and focus each day on how much I can help other people. And I just want to encourage you guys to do that. Get up today and start living for yourself. Get up today and set the past free. Get up today and stop viewing yourself as special. All right, guys, hope this video has been of some help. If you have any questions or comments, drop them below. If you made it this far in this video and have yet to subscribe to my channel, please do. I'd appreciate the support. So, guys, as always, thanks for watching. Have a great day.